Hi, this is the Gun Guy. Thank you very much for watching my channel and my videos. I really deeply appreciate it. Listen, I've been getting a lot of notes on YouTube and 2 or 3 emails from people asking me to update them on what has happened legislatively, particularly here in the state of California. Now, if you're not in California, I'm going to urge you not to tune out right now because many of the things that happen in California move across the country. For example, it's very common for me to get comments from people as they troll through the channel, or just comments from people in general who aren't trolling, saying, I moved to Texas, or I'm going to Texas, or, and they'll mention Texas because Texas is a very free state from the Second Amendment standpoint. However, I want to illustrate to you that that could change. And believe me, I'm not picking on Texas. I'm proud of Texas. I'm proud of Texans. So if you're from Texas, don't send me hate mail. But you got to admit that the things that start in the more liberal states move across the country. So before I get into what's happening here in California so that you know it could be coming to a legislator near you, let me make sure you understand the way this works. First of all, just recently something happened in Fort Worth, Texas that I wouldn't have believed would happen in Texas if I didn't understand that these kind of things work their way through the country. Very recently, a school district in Fort Worth, Texas decided to go transgender. Now, this is the GunGuy TV channel. This is not the politics channel, so I'm not getting on anybody about that. I'm just sharing with you that these things that you would think wouldn't happen in Texas have. And the reason why they have, and the reason why the Fort Worth School District made this decision is obvious. And that is that the federal government has no power to dictate many of these things, but what the federal government has done over decades is give the states money for stuff. You know, you get somebody hooked on cocaine and you threaten to take the cocaine away, and the next thing you know, they'll do whatever you want them to do. The same thing is true with any drug, heroin or anything else that's addicting. And money, particularly federal money coming into a specific state for a specific reason, becomes addicting because the state will spend to the limit of its income and beyond and find itself in debt. Politicians are not very good managers of money. Look at the national debt. Look at the debt in your state. If your state is like California and upside down, now you know why. So the government comes along from the federal government and says, you have to do this in your schools, and if you don't, we're going to take your money away. And even a place like Fort Worth, Texas, caves, and they change the policy because they don't want to lose the money. Now, if you think that just applies to schools and it doesn't apply to Second Amendment issues, I'm going to urge you to wake up, because it does apply to Second Amendment issues. That's one of the reasons why our current battle in the presidential campaign is very, very important. It's very key who is president the next time, because we know that if one of them is president, we're going to have deep trouble. As you can tell, I don't support Hillary Clinton. She would destroy the Second Amendment, and so would Bernie Sanders. So I'm not making an endorsement here. I'm just making a statement of fact. They both said that the Second Amendment would pretty much go bye-bye if they become president. So now you understand. You could say, well, that wouldn't happen in my state even if they're president. Well, yeah, it might, because the federal government holds the purse strings in a lot of these things. And if they threaten to take the money away, the states fall in line because financially they don't have any other choice. Now that you know that, here's what's happening in California. We had a Senate vote just recently, and they voted on a whole bunch of bills, and I thought I'd tell you what they were. I had to print it out because there's no way in the world I'm going to remember them all, because there's 10 of them. There were 11 that were brought there. As far as I could determine, there were 10 that passed through the Senate. Now, before you get too worried about that, you should be worried about it, but before you get too worried, let me make sure you understand that the next step is the Assembly Public Safety Committee. Has to pass both the Senate and the Assembly before it goes to the governor for signature. So we still have opportunities to stop these things, but here's what they are. Senate Bill 880, this one will reclassify things into assault weapons so that they make them illegal, and there's a whole list of them. There's Senate Bill 1235. That one will keep a database on ammunition purchases and create a screening process when you buy ammunition in the state of California. There's Senate Bill 894, and that will make a criminal of any individual that does not report a gun stolen within 5 days. So if you wait 6 days to report it stolen, or you just discovered it was stolen, you're in all kinds of trouble. Senate Bill 1006 would direct the University of California to use taxpayer funds, the state of California, to research the positive aspects of gun control. Senate Bill 1407 would require, as of July 1st, 2018, that all newly manufactured weapons must have a serial number, so there goes your 80% lower. The idea is to do away with guns you make at home. And you would have to register those and put a serial number on them. If you don't, you'd find yourself being an instant criminal. Senate Bill 1446 would make it, as of July 1st, 2017, a crime to possess any high-capacity magazine. In California, you got to understand, if you had that magazine before the current ban, it's grandfathered in. You can own it, you can use it. Yeah, well, this is trying to take that away so that you would have, it would be a crime to possess it, even if it was a grandfathered magazine. Now, there were some bills, there were, 4 of them, that were written for completely other purposes, and then in the process, they were gutted and changed to be gun control bills. For example, AB 156 is one that's going through the Assembly at the moment. And it originally was there to combat global warming, and it was altered to serve as a restriction on ammunition. Now, how they got the two out of that, I don't know. AB 857, originally it was to reduce greenhouse gases, again, a global warming type of a deal, but it was changed to restrict curio and relics and 80% lowers and home-built firearms and that kind of stuff. Then there's AB 1135. This original intent was to deal with the Kings River East groundwater sustainability stuff, and it was amended to be a ban on semi-automatic firearms as assault weapons and reclassify them. AB 1511, original intent was to encourage the State Energy Resources Conservation and Development Commission to establish a comprehensive plan to save energy in the state of California, and it was completely gutted and rewritten to now make prohibitions on hunting and other kinds of trips and going to the range where you would lend a firearm to somebody. They're going to make it illegal for you to hand your gun to your buddy and let him use it at the range, or hand a rifle or shotgun to your buddy when you go hunt and let him use it for hunting. You're not going to be able to loan a firearm at all. If you do and that passes, you are an instant criminal. All right, the Senate bills are the ones that are most threatening at the moment, and those have to pass the Assembly Public Safety Committee before they get anywhere. So here's what we need to do. Contact our state assembly person if you're in the state of California and make sure they hear from you. And I'm going to do a couple of things for you to make it really, really easy. So that you know, doing these videos I can't do very rapidly, but I make updates on this stuff on our Facebook page, Twitter page, and on the website very rapidly when this stuff happens. So if you want to go to the Facebook page and like the Facebook page, or go to Twitter and start following me on Twitter, you'll see these when they, within a day or so of them happening, or you can just check the website. So what I'm going to do is put some links right here for you to do that for Facebook, Twitter, and the website. You can click on there, and then you can go like the Facebook page if you want, or follow the Twitter page, or just take a gander at the website every once in a while and look for those updates when they happen. Because, as I said, it's taken me now a couple of weeks to get around to doing a video on this, just because it takes more time. So please, if you're in the state of California, contact your legislators, particularly the Assembly members, and urge them not to vote for these bills. Also, I want to urge you to click on the links that I have on the Facebook page for you and on the website so that you can get a list of the legislators who opposed these things. So it's equally as important to contact them and say, thank you very much for fighting for my Second Amendment rights, because we want to encourage them to continue doing that. A lot of them are Republicans. I mean, these things were voted on a pretty much party line vote, but there were a number of Democrats who voted against these bills to support the Second Amendment, and there were a number of senators who got up and stood in front of the Senate and really strongly protested these bills and urged their colleagues to vote against them, and we want to give them all the support that we can get. By the way, I also post on those places legislative updates. We have had some strong legislative wins, some strong judicial wins in court in California in the last several months, and you'll see those updates there as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my channel. I'm sorry I don't have a gun for you today, but we'll have a gun video up again later on this week and more next week. I hope that you will subscribe, please. This way we can keep you informed when new videos come out. And please share us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all those other places. That's what helps the channel grow. Thank you again for watching my channel and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful week and be safe.